We think to have it down these days.
Yay. Good evening. This is the meeting of the Communication Committee. We're engaging as a community, and that's great. It's September 22nd, and the time is now 5:06 p.m. And we're going to start with introductions. So, on the floor, we have Ms. Bolton. Say your name.
Hi, I'm Victoria. You may not be able to see me right now, but I'm working from the floor tonight. But Victoria Bolton.
Literally working from the floor.
Miguel Barrios, community member.
The sound is horrible. We can't hear.
Can you hear me now?
Everyone may
I just hear a bunch of talking people, so I don't know. Is there a mic or something?
no.
No, there is not.
So you may have to speak up.
All right, so we'll speak up. Miguel, introduce yourself.
Can you hear me? All right. Miguel Barrios, community member, 3 kids in the school district, 2 in Woodlands, 1 in RJB. Also serve as a school contractor working on graphic services alongside other colleagues, including Jackie Burton, to help the communications in the school district.
Great.
Lauren O'Keefe, Highview PTA president, 2 kids in the school district, 1 in RJB and 1 in Highview.
Gabriella Barahona, Vice President of Council, 3 kids in the district, 2 at Bailey, 1 here at Caxton, and a member of a bunch of committees.
Yes.
Samantha Ives, 2 kids in the district, 5th and 8th grade, multiple committee member.
Jackie Burton, thank you for the shout out, Miguel. I also help with the communications for the district. Patricia Simone, principal of the Jackson School, 235 students.
Damon Yiser, retiree, administrator of the school district. 2 children have graduated, and I'm one of the local fire commissioners.
Sven Huger, I'm one of the old folks in this country here, in this district here, but I had 3 kids in the district and we're still involved.
Kelly Johnson, I'm president of the Woodlands High School PTA.
Hi, I'm Amy Geddes. I am president of the RJ Bailey PTA with the students at Bailey and 1 at Woodlands. Felicia Gilney, PTA president for the of Jackson and ECP, 2 kids in the district, 1st grade and 2nd grade.
Hi, Jadira Ramirez Garcia. I am the vice president of the ECP and LFJ PTA. I have 2 kids, 1 in ECP and 1 in 1st grade.
Great. I'm David Warner. I'm a board member, and I've got a kid. She just turned 29, graduated in the class of 2014, and I'm hoping the next generation does even better than her. Online, Tracy?
Hi, I'm Tracy Mayer, parent of 3. Sixth grader at RJ Bailey. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And board member.
Yeah, we're not hearing anything. You said add board member.
She may be traveling. I'm not sure. Are you traveling, Tracy?
You guys, so I may not have full signal. So I said parent of or
Okay, she's a parent of something or someone. All right, thank you. Dr. Chisholm.
Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Lorinda Chisholm, Superintendent. I apologize, I cannot be there. My father is not well, so I did travel to come check on my dad. So thank you for allowing me to come virtually.
Okay. So bring up,
I also
oh, go ahead.
Trustee
It's not working, Tracy.
trying to get, she should come in at some point soon.
Okay, so someone is going to come in soon. Okay, good. I hope you'll get your computer and then we'll be able to
Sam,
hear.
Rebecca Samayo, the board member on the committee, she's away there. Can you hear?
Something about Rebecca Sampleo. Okay. Take a look at your agenda. Bring the agenda up. We have several meetings put on the calendar. So I want you to take a look at the meeting because we have anyone can come to a CEC meeting and talk and listen to, and the information will be passed on to the board. But if there's some issue at which there is disagreement and the committee wants to make a recommendation to the board in order to be a voting member, the board has to approve you, and that happens on a yearly basis. So you may have been a member of the CEC in years gone by, you have to get membership renewed. So far, we have Samantha Ives, Borelli Woodward, and Damon Yisar have volunteered to be voting members of the CEC. If you look at the list at the beginning of your agenda, you'll see basically the meetings are 7 p.m. And if you can make a commitment to show up when you show up, we would appreciate having you on the list. Is there any, with that in mind, is there anyone who else who wants to volunteer to be on the list?
I'll do it, Jason.
Anybody else?
Amy Geddes.
Amy Geddes. You were.
Kelly Johnson.
Anybody else? Yes? Okay, thank you. And I'll turn that into the Board of Education, and they'll pass a motion at an upcoming meeting. We'll take care of it. Okay, mission and charges. So scroll down to, we should be on page 2. Are you by any chance in the minutes as opposed to, yeah, you see how it says minutes? You should look for something that has the current date on it.
Okay, so let's see. This is the only, well, this is the only, oh, this
There it is.
This one, okay.
Okay. Okay, to page 2. Yeah, there we are. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of ritually read the mission statement and charges. And we have Rebecca Semple joining us.
Here.
And take a look and see if there's anything you need to change or would like to change. The mission of the GCSD Community Engagement Committee shall engage the GCSD community by serving as a liaison between the Board of Education and all members of the community by delivering clear, concise, and timely information through a variety of two-way communication platforms. So it's two-way. So yes, we project information out to people. We also want to take information in. So you should be able to bring issues and questions to this committee. Charges, make recommendations for a district-wide communications policy with procedures. I looked for other districts that had communications procedures and couldn't find any. So we may be talking to the professionals to try and figure out how to craft this now. Make recommendations for ways to increase create partnerships and communications with PTA, local business organizations, civic associations, and municipalities. Make recommendations for plans to implement community-wide surveys to gather information regarding our district, include but not limited to our students' educational experience, including its effectiveness, the effectiveness of our current communication efforts to students, faculty, and staff needs of the district, and make recommendations to continue to build community trust and strengthen perception of our school district. Does anybody see anything there? Yes.
I am curious that the Community Engagement Committee shall engage the community. Why? And it occurs to me that maybe the point of engaging the community is to build community trust and strengthen perception of the school district. So perhaps if we're going to give ourselves a mission, there should be a mission in there. I'm open to what that might look like, but I think rather than a charge to build trust and strengthen the school district, I think that's the whole reason the committee exists. I'd be really open to debate that, but I would love to see it a little stronger of a mission. Engaging is good, engaging for a purpose is better.
To build community trust and strengthen the district.
Strengthen perception or strengthen the district. I'm all about strengthening the district and perception.
Okay, we can put that in the mission statement. That will work. Any other suggestions? Okay, so that means incorporate that. We will have a board resolution to adopt the revised minutes. Okay, anybody else? Okay. Item number 4. Meeting. Yeah.
I'm thinking, as I'm listening to this, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And it's called Community Engagement Committee. Community is not just the immediate school community, it's actually everybody who pays taxes. And,
yes.
And a lot of people complain about the taxes. So how can we make sure that we get everybody involved? Not just, I mean, the old geezers like me and the younger folks who have kids in the school. I see very few people here. And I've only seen few people in meetings since the last 10 years that I've been in these meetings. So it's something that probably you would want to bring other people in that are not necessarily only have kids in the school, but also maybe want to hear what the school is doing. You know, wondering how we can accomplish that.
Mr. Holger, I'm almost there, guys, but I don't want to miss this. Mr. Holger, would you prefer something like outreach in there for the Community Engagement Committee to make some outreach efforts and attempts to reach people who don't have kids in the district?
So I will tell you that I've seen people who are who don't have kids in the district love to read to kids, okay, or at least people who, of the type who would be interested in this. So there are annual times when we have, we open up the classrooms and have people come in and read. So we could try and get people to show up for those, ask people to volunteer to read the kids. And that way we could get them a little bit involved. I've seen, once in a while we'll get a tax maven who will find that we're not, incredibly unfriendly and come and talk. But there are few and far between. Does anybody else have a suggestion? Yeah.
So back to my question though, Trustee Warner, would something like outreach to community members and residents residing in the district that do not have children in the schools, would that encompass what you were talking about, Mr. Holger?
Yeah, but essentially, when you're sending out the calendar, what else do you send out? That's pretty much it, right?
The newsletter.
The newsletter, yeah, the newsletter. Maybe there could be more information in the newsletter, or the newsletter could be made more interesting to people. For example, a year ago, we got a new neighbor, young couple, and they play basketball in the backyard. And suggested to them, come to the fitness room here at the school. It's free. And I got the answer, oh, we got it free at work, so we don't do that. But there's probably plenty of people who would appreciate at least knowing that it's available. And quite frankly, I go there frequently, maybe 2 or 3 times a week. And oftentimes, there's only 2 or 3 other residents there. It's not very, a lot of kids are there, kids at their school frequented, but it's gotten less and less over the years. I've been there for many years, and it's gotten less and less. I see less and less people there, and it would be nice to let the community know that that is a resource, for example, that's available through the school district. They're paying for it.
So can we advertise the fitness center in the newsletter?
It's just one thing.
Yeah.
I think what he's talking about in general involves everything. I see it more like a bank, right? A bank is a community institution, and it has many outlets that stem from it in order to probably not only outreach to people, but to also get them engaged in themselves. So outreaching is just a portion of it, I think personally, but I think that there is a huge gap. I kind of agree with it. There's no real. It's not fully developed how we reach out to the community to get them involved, especially those that don't have kids in the school. So how do we find ways of adding community news that somewhat is pertinent to our news? So I think there's something that has come up in a lot of the meetings, especially Dr. Chisholm had her engagement tour. Was brought up a couple of times with regards to the lack of or the needs of improvement for community engagement, and this is just like something that it's just it constantly resonates. And honestly, that's why I'm here, because people here have been to CEC for a long time. I'm fair, but I'm just like, why is it not? What's not working? That's why I see more meaningful solutions to be able to just reach out to the community so they understand this district is here at the start. Doing away with the stigma that's tacked onto this community for so many decades.
We talk about stigmas, we talk about all the things that are supposedly bad about the school district. Okay, to me, unless your kid goes here, unless you are involved in this community, in the school district, you know how good it is. Now, another way to do outreach is connect with town hall. We have a whole list of civic associations, that in the area. As you know, percentage of the people who go to the school district live in certain areas. We're lacking the Hartsdale community, for example, especially on the other side of Central Avenue. I don't know how many kids actually go to school. We also have a lot of, high district or high rent folks whose kids don't go to school. So the message is getting out to certain people. But the thing is that if you're looking for extra communication, is that you can look through the town. Paul Farner is a very good resource. He contacts everybody. When it comes to anything that we're doing, anything we're having, he has his own, newsletter and stuff. So, like for example, you have a meeting tonight, you can sit here, send them this, say, hey, Paul, I want you to add this to your thing so that you can know. And like I said, the civic associations, they are very involved with those ones in the area. But what you're saying, and getting people to come, that's always been an issue. Okay, no matter what. The only time an issue comes, something comes up. I guarantee if you're gonna tell them like we did a couple of years ago that, hey, we got $130 million bond, coming, everybody comes in. So, you know, that's the whole thing. So I think the people who are interested, who want to know, okay, they'll be involved. And hopefully, you know, if you look at communication, we do have a communication person as part of their job to do that, to make sure that every area of the school district, whether they are seniors, whether the kids go to school here or whatever. It's nice, I got the calendar, it's good to know, but you want to get the other people that we're not reaching, that's the way.
So David, before Ms. Ives goes, for the purposes of the mission and charges, would the charges be to outreach as well? That was my question. Because that's what you're talking about, right? Outreach on the members of the community. So I think for this issue, recommending outreach, and then you have the communication people here, actually, so they're hearing what you're saying.
So that's one way, if you want people to come to certain meetings, that's one way, at least it's out there, they know about it. If they show up, they show up, if they don't, you know.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying exactly the same thing. I'm gonna build on that a little bit because I was curious. It sounds to me like what I'm hearing sounds like it nests under this second bullet point, make recommendations for ways to increase and create partnerships and communications. And I'm wondering if I could request that maybe we devote an entire community session to just that bullet point. And I'm also wondering if the word outreach belongs in there, or if increasing and creating partnerships and communications is outreach. Do we need just one, or do we need both for the sake of the charges? And I think this is an important one. Can we dedicate time to it when it's actually on the agenda and that's the focus? Because all of these suggestions are really good. It'd be nice to build them out a little bit.
And also, what does the committee has to decide, right? What they would like to do, how much they can do, right? Because you're committing yourself to a lot with outreach. In the past, the committee's gone both ways, where it's just made phone calls. You know, I kind of harassed a couple of PTA parents to be here tonight, but there's been times that you've had things in different people's homes, in communities. They welcome, they open their homes, they have kind of a cottage invitation. There's been times that the community engagement committee has gone out into the community at different locations, to still kind of rotate different areas. So I think it depends on what people want to do.
Okay.
I think, can I just say, I love the idea of devoting a special, a dedicated time to that. I do think that outreach and increasing outreach to raise awareness for some of the things that you guys are talking about, and increasing partnerships are two distinct things. They're both valid, but they're distinct. So we just want to keep that in mind.
And, okay, so how would you differentiate between creating partnerships and outreaching? Does it have to do with us going to them, or does it have to do with what you
contextualize that outreach is telling people what we have, creating partnerships is asking them to come help them with it. They go hand in hand. It's part of our two-way communication, but I like the idea of specifying.
Right, so partnerships won't get overwritten when we put in the outreach.
And sometimes the outreach leads to partnerships. It's very reciprocal.
And Dr. Chisholm asked if students have been invited to the committee.
Invite students to committee. I think there's one person on that went on the list from this email who happened to be a student, but that's because the person showed up at the meeting. So we'll figure out a way. Okay. Well, there's a difference between participation in the committee and participation in the district.
Yes.
So I'm happy if I get participation in the district. If I happen to get people coming to CEC, great.
It's bonus.
But yeah, it's a bonus, but I want them in some way, shape, or form. You know, if I say, hey, everybody, you know, become a WISE mentor, and you go and join the WISE program and do things there, then I fulfilled my mission regardless of whether they ever come to CEC.
That, by the way, is another example that's probably totally underestimated in the community. Probably a lot of people don't even know about Lions. In the school, you know about it. You have kids in the school, you hear about it as kids go to high school, but the community,
Yeah, so I
Tell the
invite
wise.
the wise
Nobody knows
coordinator to
about
come to one of these
Yeah.
meetings.
it should be quite advertised, yeah.
The WISE coordinator, and as a, I am an alumni, a proud alumni actually, and I did WISE. And what I will say is that Greenburgh is underestimated when it comes to the ability of the people in the district. We have a lot of people in the district who are doctors, they work on Wall Street, they have their own businesses, and I don't think that what they're saying is very true. The only reason I know about stuff is because I look for it, or I'm on the different Facebook groups, but like, I'm 37, people my age is not gonna look for it. The only reason that some of us knew about it is because who was running the WISE program, who are graduating together, she reached out to us to come help. However, if we do a better job at getting stuff out to the community, you might see more help come in, more than you think. Like, and it's not just about, it is the partnership, right? So for instance, if you have a group of people who wanna say, hey, I wanna donate money to the class of the graduating class, you have to build a partnership, but they don't know about it. Or you might get some people who wanna come back and say, hey, I'll be a WISE mentor. I work wherever at Wall Street, I'll pay for the kids to get it. You just don't know until you put it out there. So I don't know how you will reach everybody, because everybody does not use social media, and I think that's the part, is how you reach people.
Well,
If I could
it's
just
generational. Go ahead.
tag on to that, one of the charges is a plan to implement a community-wide survey. That survey can involve a lot of what we offer here. And I feel like that part, now that we're on this discussion, I think that community-wide survey can change to reflect what we're offering, how we want to partner with people, that we need WISE mentors.
So the survey in itself is an outreach tool.
I think it's one tool. How to distribute that
Is another matter.
We're on Facebook, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Facebook, Instagram.
Yes.
Because one way of doing it too is, as you know, a lot of groups have groups,
Yes.
especially for kids, like right now, a lot of youth groups are coming up. You know, people, whether it's 50, 10, you know, if you can find out some way through communication that graduates to get a representative in that group. That's one way, even the women's base of kids who went to school. Like my daughter, she's in class of 2015. They just had their opinion community. So she does have a list, you know, of women graduates, kids like that. And that's one way of sending out messages. Like you're looking for WISE, or if you're having a, you know, besides homecoming, you know, have another day where you can just invite kids. I mean, the only time, you know, you have situations is that when you have, hey, use Black History Month, you have a lot of the old students, because the way it's organized, who do come back and do. So you can have with different months, with different events, you know, where that you can have alumni come. That's the key part of the alumni go to school. Because that's the perception. You know, you look at the students who graduate, you know, we have like a just alone when I worked there. Kids of doctors, lawyers, very good. You know, students who work on Wall Street, you know, making the kind of money that I wish, you know, we could make. And that's one way, because they're young, that's a young group that's still, I mean, it might not be around in Greenburgh or whatever, but they're still alumni, and they have families or they have friends who are around where they can project and say like, hey, you know what? 2 months or next month they're having something at school. And I think it's up to the school, especially the high school, since that's, you know, the breeding ground, to have more events where they can bring back, not wait for just certain days, not wait for just for homecoming, you know, have days where that, you know what, we're gonna have this, have that, so kids can come back, especially college kids, right? They come home, you know, get them. You know, in December, tell them, hey, you know what? Second week of December, we're having a welcome back situation. And hopefully, you know, through the organization of a group of kids, you know, who have graduated, they can kind of tell you like, hey, you know what? I can get maybe 10 5 or 10 people come. So if you look at that, each grade, they can do that.
No, you bring up a good point, because pretty much every graduating class has either a Facebook page or an Instagram group, I don't know what you call it, because I'm older. I can tell you, I graduated many years ago, and this is gonna be one of our years, and they're planning, there's a huge bunch planning to come.
All of them are coming back this year. So it's something I've been saying since last year. You need an alumni tent. You need an engagement committee tent. You need the tents at homecoming, because then you can capture everyone. A lot of alumni, because class of 05 is there 20 years and class of 06, our 20 years are coming up. So, and then you have other kids coming home, because we've been like telling everybody, like, you gotta come home, right? So all the classes are coming. A lot of people are coming home because they've been like typing it up a little more. It's unfortunate we don't have our field, but you could still set up an alumni tent, engagement committee tent. Let them see what's happening. Let them see where they can help. Maybe they want to mentor kids. Maybe they want to give donations. Maybe they want to just come in and help or talk to kids. But Officer Yiza is right. We need something where alumni could come back, because before I had kids, Lori Lawanga will call me for anything. I've done a prom giveaway where I gave a girl a whole prom dress from head to toe, makeup, everything included. I modeled, so I was able to give her a dress. I did 2 girls. I came when girls was getting in trouble. I came to the school. I mentored girls, right? So alumni have the time, and actually those girls still. Actually, his daughter was one of the winners, right? And she had a free dress made from head to toe. Like, she had makeup done here. You have alumni. There's an alumni, like, you just have to open it up. We have to open it up, because people don't know. If teachers didn't call us specifically, I wouldn't know. Lori just happens to have my number, so she'll call me if she needs help.
I was gonna piggyback on the same exact thing. I think we definitely need to tap in more. I'm an alumni as well, but I went to an event not long ago where Hamilton had like this, they have like this Hall of Fame thing, and it's a big deal. And I was like, how come we don't do this in our school? And they ended up having so many alumni come back, and afterwards they all were over at, and it was like they joined in almost with Sleepy Hollow's reunion group, but it was really nice. And we just sort of joined in, and there were a few other alumni members from Woodlands that happened to show up there too. And they were like, well, we're just gonna represent Woodlands for the night, because there's only 5 of us, but we'll be like, we're not alone, we're here too. And we all were saying the same thing. It would be nice if there was something that would really push for us to come back. I mean, that Hall of Fame was big. I didn't even realize Hamilton.
But they had a Hall of Fame, and I know that's been talked when I was here. They were talking about it, but so many changes have come along that athletic department, and it's so hard, to try to get the people. Hamilton did it a certain way where they got people to do it. You need people who know about the history of women's athletics, number 1. Or you can have a Wall of Fame like Mount Vernon does. It doesn't have to be, it has to just be athletes. It could be people prominent, school leading up to Leah Jackson. You can have prominent people went to Women's High School and now, who have done things to the point where that kids can walk down the hallway, okay? They can actually like, oh wow, I did that.
Rosen calls it the Hall of Distinguished Graduates.
Yeah.
We've had it for about 15 years.
Barclay has, a lot of schools walk the building, they have it. That's one way of kind of showcase, especially, the school. So when people walk in here, I didn't know so with the Woodlands. I didn't know this person with this, because they always say the golden age of Woodlands is always from 70s to the mid-90s. That's the golden age. Then that things started to happen. A lot of things.
Yes.
I've been here long enough. A lot of things started to change. Your administration and stuff. But you had a straight administration. You had people here who had longevity, who stayed here. Some people, they were here in the 80s, or Dr. Gray was the principal. You had Ms. Harris. You had, Mr. Dr. Raposar. You had people who stayed a long, long time. We still have the same thing now. Patricia's been here for a long time. Dave's been here for a long time. So, but in the old days, that's what it was. And during that time, it was good. I just think in the last probably 20 plus years, since the demographics has changed and, a lot of things have changed school-wise, that's where Woodlands really started getting a so-called bad reputation, as people say perception, say. But if we can do something,
It's changing.
looking at it.
It is
No,
changing. I was gonna say it's coming
yeah,
back.
no, it's coming back because the fact that, like I said, you have alumni, you have people who've been here, like I say, his kids, I think two of them Victoria,
Yeah.
But even our new families, they love the district. We're very community home based, we're very tight knit, although dysfunctional family. But it's nice, and you don't get a district like this. We're probably one of the most diverse districts in the local area. No district is like this district, and I think if we hone in on that, we'll change everything about what the perception is of the district. We have the people here. You have the alumni here, you have the families here, you have community partners here, like where everyone's here, it's just how do we make it like mesh together?
For one, maybe a low hanging fruit, except I'm always throwing things in your lap. I would love to dedicate time and energy to build out some of this, because I think everything everyone is saying, alumni tent and getting that network and building all of it is brilliant. I love the idea of bringing in community members straight to the kids. Wise, can we, again, low hanging fruit, as we're building these out, or as we're considering recommending building these out, can we make a little corner of our quarterly newsletter, like a community corner that highlights alumni and or highlights the next opportunity that the community can come in and be with our kids? Wise Mentors, World Read Aloud Day.
So Dr. Chisholm's waiting to speak. She coordinates the
Sorry,
communications crew on the newsletter, so she's hearing all of this. It's your turn, Dr. Chisholm.
Thank you. I just want to back up just a little bit, because let me lower my hand. There are a few things that are being said that I know are already in the works. And so the first thing is around the engagement and outreach. So what I want to say is, for that specifically, that is why it's very intentional to go to spaces, which is what I've been trying to do. Everybody doesn't engage with social media or even feel comfortable engaging with technology. And you do have segments of the population, the community population, who I believe are more open and more apt to the personal connection. And so I want to say that's part of it too, being in those spaces, meeting with people face to face, not just sending things out. So that's the first part. The second thing too is that I hear Felicia, if I'm correct, but I know she and I have spoken even at some of the listening sessions, as well as what I've heard from like Commissioner Yazir, and all those folks that have been out there around the alumni piece. And there is a alumni, it's a small piece in the summer newsletter that went out, but it was so much information to put in there, it may have been missed. So one of the things that we've talked about is making sure we have that sign up around homecoming time at under the alumni tent, so we can garnish and gather more people who may not have access or may not live in the area, but are still alumni that come back for homecoming and other events. So those things will be available during that time too. We just had, for my high school, our 100-year reunion, and everybody, well, I wasn't there, but a lot of people did come back, to the high school for that. That's the reason why it's so important to get that alumni association up and going, because it's the alumni association in collaboration with the high school that hosts, that helps to plan and host those events. They also plan which year is having their reunions. They send out the nominations for the Alumni Hall of Fame, the Sports Hall of Fame. That's why it's going to be really important to get that alumni association up and running to help kind of sponsor and coordinate those things. So I know we're talking about it, but there are some things that are already in the works around that. Maybe one of the things that we can do is maybe use that QR code that was in the summer newsletter. And I'm really saying this to like Jackie and Miguel. I know we're meeting on Thursday or Friday of next week, but maybe taking that and really kind of blasting that a little bit more. So those who may be following our social media page and that our alumni can come back. I have been meeting with quite a few alumni who want to engage in the district. I just met with a young man from the class of 2014. He went to Buffalo State College. He's interested in helping with our social media. But it was just a great sit-down conversation with him, whether that ends up being a partnership or not, whose wife is also a pre-K teacher in the district at Highview. So just thinking about the importance of these face-to-face meetings and sitting down and having conversations about where we can go with community members as well as alumni.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chisholm, and thank you for joining. She's visiting her family. Okay, sorry. So to get back to our goals, what was it, a mission of this is really important conversation, but we do have to solidify the charges. So do you have enough for that?
I think we have enough.
Okay.
So what I'll do is I will modify this and send it out via email to the CEC list, and anybody who wants to can chime in and with your feedback, and then I'll take it to the board and we'll have it.
I feel bad because I asked the PTA, I told them they'd be done by 6.
Yes, so we need to. All right, we're gonna go and find out how the opening of school was and what you're gonna do for your PTA units. We've got each and every PTA unit and a representative of council. So Felicia Gilsey.
That is me. So I am here with Jadira. I called Jadira here with me. So opening up the school, back to school was a really great success. We did have our meet and greet, and I did utilize our partnership. So like the fire department came, the police department came. They were actually very excited. There were alumni on the fire department that came and was happy to be here. The parents are very pleased so far, which I knew they would be. Our membership has surpassed last year, so we are excited. We have a lot of partnerships, like donations.
We created
a sponsorship where we went out and just got like sponsorship, and we just got a gold member, so they sponsored $1,000 to our PTA. And they are also alumni.
The best part,
They are alumni, so it is Troy and Rashad from Earning Leisure. I called him and he said whatever we need, so they probably will be partnering with us more. Their COO will be coming to read to some of the kids at ECP to open up our readathon. We are working with Dr. Chisholm to come read to our readathon. Our readathon is October 3rd. We kick it off, so we do have some people coming in. Greenburgh Police is gonna come kick off readathon with the kids as well.
One day?
Yes.
One day?
Yes, October 3rd. So we're gonna I have 4 different people coming in spread out, BCP spread out. So I had to like spread out my help. Our biggest goal and mission is partnership, right? And utilizing a partnership, keeping the families engaged, making sure they understand what's happening and know what's going on. We do have a really nice newsletter that goes out monthly. Elida, our secretary, she's not here, but she does an amazing job getting the communication out. We do let the parents know if you're not signed up with the membership, you will not get the letter. So that has like increased people to sign up. Our next meeting is November 6th. I don't think we decided if it's in person or Zoom yet, but I mean, it's going really well. We're really big on partnership, right? Because our PTA is nonprofit and the money does go back to our kids, and we want to try to get away from fundraising more so and just getting stuff in the community, the kids and the parents back here. So our next event is Trunk or Treat. If you would like to decorate your trunk, you can sign up. Or if you want to donate candy bags or pretzels or snacks or, whatever, waters, the kids love the little waters. But yeah, partnership is our biggest thing with our PTA. My board, I'm the only alumni, so we mesh well together because I bring something that they don't, and they bring something that I don't have, and we just, we're locked in. But definitely partnership is a big thing for our PTA. And that's it.
Good.
I just want to comment, fire, that's an alumni that was.
Oh, yeah.
With my 4th grade.
Yes.
Student. My daughter came to Leah Jackson, she was like, she might be an
Yeah, no, she moved, but she's in high school. I think she's in high school now.
And Jamal was my wife's student, one of the police
Right.
officers.
Yeah, so that's why engagement is a big thing for me and alumni, and I stress alumni because for me to be able to go to some of my alumni and say, listen, this is what I have going on and I need you, and it's like, no problem. That's a big thing. I said, hey, I need somebody to come read, no problem. Anywhere I went to the fire department, I reached out, his name is Jeffrey, he's an alumni. I said, hey, I need you. He said, whatever you need. To be able to do that is a blessing and get the help. So, you know.
She was a cheerleader.
Oh yeah, that was but it's, you know, I also am a student who went to the Manhattanville Magnet Academy when Woodlands was partnership, and it was like a charter school and it was like an amazing program. But even through that, our active coach is now on HBO and all over the world, you know, and I've asked him for help to come back and he said no problem. So I think it's definitely utilizing, and actually I have an alumni too who's on Hamilton. So it's just like utilizing your partnerships. I mean, you know, that's a big thing.
No, I think for the families who aren't originally from Westchester or Greenburgh in general, I think it was really nice for us to see that people are willing to come back and invest in the students and in the community, and just that people turn out to be really wonderful human beings that you actually want to speak to, that are successful, that are doing well in the world. I think as a parent of very young children, all I ever heard was negative things about this district, but nobody could really tell you why they felt that way. No one, the people who were speaking the loudest didn't have children in this district or chose to send them out of district. So I lived here for a very long time without kids, and all I heard was this like negativity, and I wanted to run for the hills. Like I was like, we need to sell this house and move. And then I've gotten here, and I think that when we get involved and you meet other really wonderful families that are invested, and then we put together events like this where the people who grew up here became really wonderful human beings and are paying their bills and surviving and thriving and are coming back, says so much. And it keeps you hopeful and it makes you want to stay. And so I think that that's what we're hoping for. But also building stronger teacher connections and partnerships. We've got 4 of the wonderful LFJ teachers signed up for trunk or treat. The kids love seeing. Yes.
So we are stressing teachers because PTA is parent teacher, and I think there's a big disconnect. So we're trying to connect that gap between the teachers and the PTA, and stressing like when you get these nice breakfasts and flowers, that comes from us, you know, getting the money in or membership, and it's important that you sign up so that it's a partnership. Like it is, I'm like, I tell the teachers, like, it doesn't hurt. It's a $10 membership, you know? And that's one of the things that I think they're stressing the most is the PTA.
Yeah, like, I mean, I'm like $10, that's fine. But for me, it's like when I see the teachers at the events, like I went to the SEL event at Woodlands, Miss Simone was there. A lot of the teachers were here from LFJ, the way that the children interact with them, and the way they run over to them, the way they are so happy to see them in a different setting says a lot. And so we are really hoping to partner with them. We understand this is a full-time job and it's a hard work. And so you want to go home and you have your own families and your own responsibilities, but we're hoping that, you know, a sprinkling of the teachers, you're at every event, but like, with the teachers at some of our events, it says also a lot to the parents that aren't here every single day, that they're seeing these teachers. And so we're very excited to continue to build upon what you all have done.
Pressure, okay.
Lauren, can you top that?
That's okay, I don't need to top that.
No, we follow you, Lauren.
I know.
We follow you, girl.
We follow Lauren too.
I'm coming from the Highview perspective, and it was one thing kind of ties into to what Javier was saying. One big thing at Highview that all the kids know and love is school store. They love it because they get to spend money at school and buy silly little tchotchkes. What I love about it and why it was kind of my gateway drug into PTA is it is the best opportunity, I would say, I don't have a kid in Woodlands, but
based on age and experience of the first 3 schools, it's the best way to get into the schools and see what it's like. How do the kids interact with their teachers? It's not, we're putting on the show at back to school night. It's not, it's the real deal. It is a school day. You see classes passing, you see what it's like. And that, I think is an incredible opportunity. It was one of the reasons, and granted, it was also post-COVID. I was like, this is amazing. I love seeing all these kids and their teachers, and this is what real school days are like. So School Store happens twice a month. We start October 3rd, actually the same day as you guys are kicking off readathon. So that's our first store, but it's twice a month. It is our opportunity to bring in volunteers, both parent volunteers, but 2 of our longstanding volunteers are grandparents. One who has a child in the school and one whose grandchild one is graduated and one is a senior Woodland. When she comes back and she is not gonna let your kid walk away from the table without taking money back in their wallet. And we love them, and it's just another opportunity to show both the teacher, or not the teacher, but our parents of the students, you know, what's going on, what it's like, and what the community is about. We also have our readathon coming up. We kick off the following week on October 10th. We are not, it won't be quite as thrilling for our but we're big into our store. So we have a kickoff store. Every student gets to come down. We have the books actually were just delivered today. Every student comes down, they get to pick out a brand new book, and we have a huge selection. So that's always a fun day because they get to come down. It's something new, it's something they chose, and we have genres across the board. So that is kind of where we are. Our next meeting is Monday, October 27th. We stick to the remote meeting vibes. It seems to work for us and our parents. So that's it.
Thank you so much.
I'm Amy Geddes. I'm the president of the RJB PTA. And I'm proud to say that we look forward to strengthening our learning community of 410 students and their families and our neighbors with events and activities that are centered around the Bailey building this year. Our upcoming events include the September 26th Teacher and Staff Appreciation Breakfast. We're looking at a special brand new event for us, October 8th, a walk and roll to school day. It's actually an international observation of the needs of pedestrian students to be able to get to school safely. So we are going to take part in that. We're looking forward to that. Supervisor Feiner has supported us, is supporting us with this. And we also have Greenburgh PD Officer Henry has offered to help us out. We're looking for partners in that, but it's a 0.2 mile walk across the busy intersection of Tarrytown Road. And just before school on October 8th.
See if I get the part.
That's good. That's good. I was busy last night, right? So with that, so that's October. We have our Scholastic book sale, and the first night of that is December 4th, and we're having our next meeting, our in-person meeting, December 4th at Bailey, the same night as that Scholastic Book Fair kickoff. So we're looking forward to seeing a lot of people there, encouraging our students to pick a book, to read, and to spend money so that we can use it for our events during the year. Let's see, and we are looking at short term at 3 family-oriented events in the winter time. One in January, one in February, one in March. We're putting in for some grants. We'll see what we get, but we want some. We want to see the families enjoying Bailey. Also, I just want you to know that the feedback that I got as far as what people would like to see from Bailey PTA was they looked directly at Highview and at LFJ and ECP PTAs, and they said, we want some of that in Bailey. And I was like, okay, what does that mean? And, you know, now that I've been out of those schools for some time, a little bit of time, being unaware of the, again, family-oriented activities that occur at those buildings to make, again, build a community. So I looked at the event calendar and I said, okay, when can I put it in there? It was hard to try and find things that aren't already occupied by LJCP and Highview, you know, in order to sneak in something at another elementary school. So I understand the whole thing with the, it's tough. I've lived in Greenburgh for over 20, I try to do the math, 20 years before I had a child in Greenburgh schools. That's as an adult. And I did not take part really in any school district related event. So I came in as a 20-something who commuted on the train, went to New York City, and I took part in a religious organization, and I also took part in Junior League. It had nothing to do with the district. So I get it, and I'm just saying. Anyway, look forward to seeing you all at future meetings.
I can tell you one thing, you do barely, you have time. Put the calendar. I used to be part of a group a long time ago called FAT. Father and son together. And we used to always have a pancake breakfast.
I just talked to somebody about that.
Yeah, at Bailey. Yeah, at Bailey. Because Bailey, one is that, so majority of your kids live in that area, and it's a walkable area with parents. So, you know, it's not like you have to drive to Woodlands, you have to drive here to, you know, you have a high retention of people who would come, you know, to enjoy a day. You know, I mean, the prices are crazy now, but it's just something where you get donations from people to do stuff.
It was all.
The breakfast, it was all fathers.
Yeah, no, just fathers. Yeah, if what.
And it was free, and you came.
Well, it wasn't free then.
Well, I just don't care, my mother might have.
No,
It was
but.
a pancake breakfast.
But it was a
Yeah,
pancake, but it was nice to have music, it was really
Yeah,
nice.
and it's, like I said, Bailey is centrally located, where you have a lot of children, okay, that can get there, walk there. Then you have a playground outside, in the warm months, you have, you know, everybody stuck inside. Because we even had Mr. Van Dyven, when he was working, we had a gym open. So if the kids, you know, after they finish eating or whatever, they would go play in the gym, or Mr. McLean was there with the computer room with kids like one. So you have a lot of things at Bailey that I know personally that you can attract, you know, and one is, it's a very good fundraiser. You know, for one, because we always donated money for the 6th grade trip out of what we got there. So it wasn't just us having it, but that's an idea. If you're talking about Bailey, you know, if you're using it for something community-wise, that was a community situation. And a lot of seniors came, you know, because we had, you know, senior price, we had regular price, you know, but it's just something that you can think about. But it doesn't have to be Bailey, but I just know Bailey is a nice place to have it because of parking, accessibility, you know, and everything that goes with it. So that's something to count.
Good. We just had our Dad's Take Your Kids
Yeah,
to
kids,
School Day, and
everybody
it's
has
like a launching platform. Okay, Kelly Johnson.
And Woodlands, so we are really focused this year on engagement and advocacy. Our first meeting is October 8th, and we are trying to bring people there by having a drawing for members when they come and having some refreshments available. We are happy to say we've been also focusing a lot on getting more student members, and we've been offering that. We worked with guidance, trying to offer seniors that join courts that they could get during graduation from there. Volunteer hours, a lot of students towards the, when it comes to National Junior Honor Society and everything, right close to that time, they're on a hustle to try to get some volunteer hours. I've already received some people sending me some information. I've been sending out the information to students about volunteer opportunities. So that would be one way that they could find out about more volunteer opportunities. I will.
Mr. Rounds, and he sends usually 9 students.
Right.
Students
Send it to us.
I was gonna say, oh, I'm happy to send it to you.
I mean, you don't want, because sometimes you get the same kids every time. Because if you're in a club, those clubs always will generate theirs, but here we'll have like a different
Okay.
as well. So, and we send it to the parents too, so parents are aware. So then parents can maybe nudge some children to go to some of the volunteer opportunities out there as well. So that looks good, not only for National Junior Honor Society, but also for seniors when they're trying to fill out those college applications. That looks really good. We want to have like a student advocacy group where we would encourage more leadership opportunities for some of the students as well. Then for teachers, we offered a few incentives, early bird incentives. We are already more than 50% at our goal, which is great. We have more teachers this year, so more signed up than we had last year at this time. And we have more students and more parents. So that's really great. We're excited about that. We still have a ways to go. We're almost there. So if you did not join yet, please join. In an effort, so talking about advocacy, last year and a couple of years in the past, the school used to be in charge of Picture Day. A lot of parents weren't big fans of that. We are officially now in charge of Picture Day. So this is going to be an experience for us. We made some changes with the dates because it turned out 2 of those dates happen to be half days because that's parent conference days. So how we're going to do it is, I think, and I'm going by memory, but November 12th, I think is the first day that's going to be for seniors. And that Friday is also going to be for seniors. We're going to open up the time, even though it's a half day, where we will still have it open for seniors because they set up their own appointments to take pictures. We now have a new date, November 24th, which is a regular day of school, which will be for everybody else. We are working with Urban Simon, which everybody, pretty much every other school has been working with them except for Woodlands. So they're really, really excited about working with Woodlands this year. They really want to make it work. I've been having them work with the principal and the secretaries and everybody to try to work out scheduling. And so far it seems like it's going pretty well. So we're excited about that. We're also bringing in a few other things to try to generate a little extra money. We will have our crowdfunding as we always do, but we're doing a book fair, which is different, but actually we've heard from some other high schools that children in high schools actually still like book fairs. And it's almost just a time for them to go in, and it's a little different because you don't go in with a class, you go in independently. Well, we brought that up and the English department pretty much took over. And we're thrilled about it. They are so excited about this book fair. So it's going to be December 8th. We already called Scholastic, set up a week. It's the same week where we'll have, oh my goodness. Oh, one of the concerts. I think it's the high school concert for the holidays. So we'll open it up a little bit beforehand if people wanted to come in. But the librarian's going to pretty much, she's on board. We have a whole Zoom set up where we're going to speak with everyone to try to work out the kinks of setting everything up. So we're going to need volunteers for Picture Day and for the book fair. But we're kind of excited about what that might bring to women. So we figured it's worth a try. Our board is great, and everyone's coming from, because we have people from 7th grade all the way up to myself, which is 10th grade. So it's bringing a diverse group of ideas, and everyone is so gung-ho about trying everything that it's really great. And we have some, we're gonna put in for some grants. We're gonna see if we can get some of them. We have some ideas that we want to put into place, but naturally funding is important. So hopefully some of these grants, some dealing with mental health, some dealing with like a passion career type of fair we were looking at, but we'll see what happens. It really depends on funding and hopefully get those grants.
And Bailey and Woodlands PTAs were the ones that won
the technology grant last year, right?
No.
Yeah, oh no, the Horizon
Award.
Yeah.
It was just announced over the weekend.
Yes.
That we won the Horizon Membership Awards, which was based on some getting in a form in August. paying our dues, but we did it. We did it.
And we're gonna try to apply for the next one, because we're past our 50% mark, so hopefully we'll win that award as well. I mean, so we're excited, we have a lot of great ideas, we'll see what happens. We're hoping for the best, and that's pretty much it for right now.
So just out of curiosity, you said the photographer is different this year, right?
Yes, we're using Irvin Simon this year, so it's the same photographer as last year, not last year, at Bailey, and so parents who've worked with the, you know, if you've been through the system, you pretty much know the photographers. So in that aspect, it should be a little.
Okay, yeah, this is standards of the past.
And that's where advocacy works, because seriously, when I say parents have been complaining about the photographer in the past for years, and finally last year, the principal was like, you guys want it? It's yours. And we pretty much were looking around at different places. So Irvin Simon, we're working with them. We're gonna see what they provide us, and naturally, if it doesn't work out, we'll keep looking, but they're very excited about.
Like, it bothers me enough, I may have to.
Please do, because we need to, I know where I'm reaching. Yes.
Okay, is Gabriella, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Tell us about the PTA Council.
Okay, so I am actually filling in for our president. The board this year is Martina O'Mealy. She's our president. I am the vice president. And then our secretaries are Jessica Muldoon and Nicole Donnell, and Linda Lee is our treasurer. So PTA Council goals. Very exciting to hear what all the units are up to. I think you all are off to a wonderful, wonderful start. Exciting events that are coming up, so looking forward. So some of council goals include to continue to expand our community outreach, our advocacy, our student and family engagement. I was the treasurer on council for the past 2 years and saw the amount of effort and work that was put into to remain committed to our outreach by fostering strong relationships across the school community. Council focused on building collaborative partnerships with local organizations, elected officials, students, families, to ensure that every voice is heard and valued. Some of the outreach efforts were engaging families and voters at local community events, partnering with key organizations. Just recently, council had a table at the Greenburgh Farmers Market. That was a really great way of just having conversations with the community. A lot of people stop by there. So we'll hope, it's also a, factor of volunteering and availability. It's on a Saturday afternoon, but we're hoping to continue that. As far as our advocacy, our ongoing efforts, council serves as a liaison between families and the school district leadership. We regularly communicate concerns and feedback from students, parents, and the units themselves to district administrators to ensure that policies and practices reflect the needs of the communities that we serve. And then also our another goal would be supporting our local PTA units, continuing that support. We provide support through training and leadership development, representation at our regional and state and also national PTA events, and also supporting our units by equipping them with the right tools and knowledge that they need to be more effective across the district. So, and then our next meeting, we are scheduled for Monday, September 29th.
Very good. Okay, I think that covers it. And it's now 6:14. So if I look at this agenda, we're not going to make it. There's a page with the recent events, and then we get to the and our upcoming events. So you can look at that at your leisure. And everybody who's got an email, you can look at it online. And we'll go directly to the superintendent's report with Dr. Lorinda Chisholm. Teach us to soar, Dr. Chisholm.
Thank you, David.
We're now on page 4.
So I don't have a formal report prepared for you all, but just to kind of share with you some of the things that I've been doing in terms of being out in the community. I'm just going to address it in this space. One of the biggest things that we've been out in the community around is the capital improvement project and the construction and the impact that it's going to have on the community. So that's really been a big integral part in the last 2 to 3 weeks in terms of communication and engaging with the community. We've met with the police chief, the fire chief, with Mr. Finer. I'm trying to think of everybody else. We've left communications with Stone Oaks. We've been everywhere in the community just to make sure that we're keeping everyone apprised in advance, just to make people aware of what's taking place. These are your capital improvement dollars at work, but also making sure that people are thinking about alternate routes in the interim ahead of time. I wasn't able to make it for the street naming after Miss Minnie. Someone please.
Billy Sheehan.
Billy Ortiz Sheehan.
Yes, but I know, thank you. But I do know that Principal Simone was there and was able to attend. Because I couldn't be there, I was sure to share it with all of the administration. I'm sure she, had a positive impact, clearly, not just in the area, but on the school community. So I just wanted to make sure that that was communicated and shared out with the members of the district. I did attend the farmers market. I did see Martina there, Gabriella, as well as Felicia. I think you stopped by for a little bit.
Yes.
Trying to be out in the community. Got my little vegetables for the day, and met some other community members, the organizers of that event. Where else have I been? I can't even think. I feel like I've been everywhere, but I know I do have some time to schedule to meet with Martina throughout the year. So we're going to get that scheduled so we have our standing meeting set for the year as well. So that's all that I can really think of at this exact moment.
Have you attracted any top talent recently?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that. So I know Mr. Trustee Warner wanted me to think about this work in terms of SOAR. And I did think about that a little bit. So like student success, and I'm thinking about community engagement, just the communications anyways, things that we're doing, but how do we build on that? So we're already highlighting students with the athletic season upon us. Trying to do a lot of posts on my LinkedIn around things that we're doing with young people. Our student ex officio members and I just attended a student school board training where we got to hear from Commissioner Rosa and our regents, our state regents, and they engaged with other ex officio student board members across the state. So that just took place last week. Under operational excellence, I'll go back to making sure that we're communicating things around facilities as quickly and as explicitly as possible. What I don't want to do is do too many communications that we start to confuse the community or, have to change things. So we want to make sure that when we put it out, we're putting out the right information. Attracting top talent. We just completed interviewing for an executive director of human resources and professional learning. Thank goodness. So we did make an offer to that candidate who is coming with experience from the Poughkeepsie School District. And so hopefully we'll all have a chance to meet this individual on September 30th at our board meeting. I'm trying to think, responsive relationships. I'm going to go back to students and alumni with that because that is going to be my lift for this year. The creating and engaging the alumni association. So, but every relationship is important. So every relationship, we're working to be customer service oriented and responsive.
Let me ask you, you've appointed a number of administrators. Could we have them as guest speakers at future CEC meetings?
A number of administrators, yes. So we have appointed, since my tenure, Director of Student Support Services or People Personnel and Special Education, Ms. Audrey Cabell. Yes, she would love to. And she has been at some of the listening sessions to get to know the community already. She did host a community event last week for our parents of students with disabilities. So she would definitely love to do that. Ms. Shonda Merrill, our new Assistant Superintendent for Business. You'll see her out and about. What we've decided as a cabinet is that we're going to kind of divide and conquer all of the community events so that everybody sees who all of us are, really, honestly. So yeah, she would love to do that. And then once we get the executive director of HR on board, I'll be happy to have him join as well.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we're just before we close, I just want to run a slideshow, and you can clap and cheer for the new kids, and then we'll let you go. Yeah.
Does anybody else want to bring anything? Or we just slideshow? I want to give other people.
You want to do that first? Sure. Anybody have a topic they wish to? Go ahead.
Sorry. I know you're in time. On the list there, the 8 facility staff, Woodlands Auditorium, then it says Woodlands Field summer delay, drainage problem, $127,000 change order.
Yes.
I know that you reached one of my fitness buddies reached out to you, and you sent him a text back and it explained the whole situation. But basically, I'm asking, how come that when the field was first installed, nobody noticed, or there was no oversight, or there was no engineering oversight, that the drainage was put in to begin with? Because it was removed, and the field was removed, and there was no drainage situation. The field was, the football field was renovated.
Yeah.
And basically the field was removed, and then it was put back on. And as they removed it, they found there was no drainage.
A lot of problems with that, people, dirt, all that stuff.
Let me explain. I think the question is oversight. And I know we've gone through many personnel changes in business administrators. But I mean, I'm hoping that the current engineer company that oversees this is not the same that did the original job. Can that be?
I think we can not use this consortium again. I think that's a simple solution for the short-term problem. So basically, the consortium does the RFP process in advance. They do the selection process in advance. They find somebody that they think that is good, and they put them on the same job in any district that they see it. So they came along cookie cutter.
It goes on for decades like that.
Yeah. And so they went, how many jobs have you done this year? 750 jobs, okay? And so if our district had everything just like it should be underneath, they would never have known anything, nothing would be wrong, the gravel would be compacted and be capable of drainage, but they didn't see it, right? So they came in, did what they did for hundreds and hundreds of others, and ripped up the old stuff and looked and said, that's not what's supposed to be under there.
My question, David,
They should have happened beforehand.
Well, A, that, and B, is the administration no longer taking these same kind of overseers for future jobs, for example? It's going to cost us taxpayers maybe $10 more in a tax bill, but it's not the end of the world. But it's still money that we're paying more in taxes because there's more expenses, and it is based on the fact that some overseeing entity, might be an engineering company, probably hired by the district, didn't do the job right 20 years ago and now. Now they did it right, but they discovered what 20 years ago was made a mistake. That could have been the same company 20 years ago that did this. Well, I'm saying is, are we taking care of that these kind of things don't repeat themselves in the future?
Well, that's
the new superintendent has put into place procedures to where she needs to final approve these type of projects. That's all I can probably say.
I'm more concerned with that mistakes I've done in the past can be avoided in the future. That's really what I'm.
So so the next thing to worry about is the stage and the auditorium at Woodlands.
We're not tearing that up until we know.
Well,
Like an
let's
exhibition?
Are we actually teaming it up?
go to the slide show. In amongst the pictures of the smiling children, there are pictures of the facilities, and let's look at it. Okay, so here's the track, here's the field. You can see the curbing, it allows you to nail the turf onto the top of it as long after you put the padding underneath it. So that's current as of Friday. Go to the next slide. The tennis courts have gone through their own series of people that have cut a bunch of trees to make for the footprint of the tennis courts. They'll be done by the end of September. That's coming along. Further view of the tennis courts. There's the field. Keeping the goalposts. There's the versatile. Versatile allows drainage to happen horizontally. So we've been waiting for this to come in. It has come in now. It goes under the turf and allows the drainage. So it's sitting in a pile out in front of the field. So we're ready now to start working on it. Go ahead. Leah Jackson, you mentioned that this happened. Millie Ortiz Sheehan and her daughter-in-law perished tragically in a car accident about a year ago, and they decided, the teachers at Leah Jackson said, is there something we could do? Is there a tree we could put up? Is there a monument? So the thing that's happened now is we got a street sign right, Saratoga, to name that. We had a naming ceremony.
Billy was also an employee of the district.
She was a psychologist. She worked her way up from being a new aide to being a psychologist over the course of her career, like 30 years in the district. Go. There's the versatile. We're ready. Okay. They're pulling the thing down. Yeah, this is not in order. The battery energy storage system. You'll notice the transformers come in. Go ahead. They're tearing up the roads at Woodlands, putting in the pipes necessary for the fire hydrants to actually have enough, you know about this, right? Have enough pressure to, if there's a fire, we'll be able to put it out. So we've been tearing out the roads. Go.
That's not having fire.
No, okay. Keep going, keep going. The superintendent at Leah Jackson.
Oh my goodness.
Back to school, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
You see the fire department doing a high school their job in the background.
Okay.
And she's been.
And the PTA singing and dancing, okay. And the martial arts people, we had a few vendors come, and so they gave it a martial arts demonstration, trying to get kids to take martial arts. Window walls, we replaced the doors and walls on the east wing of Highview.
Oh, wow.
That's done. Okay.
That took like 5 years. 6
Yeah.
years.
Keep going.
Bring back the money.
And you can see it from a distance, right? Because you used to be able to push on the walls and it would wobble a little bit.
I
Okay.
can't believe that.
So that's done. It's done.
Except
So,
I was simple.
we're back at the weekend. Yeah, go ahead. Meet and greet. The vestibule, in front of the high school. Yes, at last, there's a vestibule. Okay,
I
go.
wasn't sure if it would happen.
And you get a little closer, you can see into the, there's the old vestibule inside. Go. That's what it looks like, a little closer. Go.
Oh my
Soar.
goodness.
This is the new slogan that we're, right, that we're trying to break down the,
You have to
yes.
say it with the New
yeah,
York
yes, it's-
accent. You have to say it with the New York accent.
Soar.
So.
Who said that?
President, and dads take your child to school day. Okay, and there are a number of things, you probably have seen these on Facebook. And
Can I
then-
go back a little bit, David? You take your dads to school day. I just want to say how how well attended that day was.
Yeah.
Across all of the buildings. I think one school had about 168 dads. I did ask for a report just to get an idea of how many dads or father figures showed up to support and represent their child. I just want to say kudos for the advertisement, for the principals, and to those father figures, those the grandparents that stepped in those spaces, the moms who stepped in those spaces for the day. Like, it was a phenomenal day. It was busy.
This is a great event. It's something that it was RJ Bailey had 168 fathers and father figures come out for the event. Even PTA has an initiative to get dads involved. So having fathers come and be invited and involved in the school district.
168 pancake breakfast. Okay, go ahead. Leah Jackson, RJ Bailey, Early Childhood Program.
This is the, yeah.
More Bailey. Richard, yeah. Highview, that's this. Yeah, some of them are taking a walk on the wild side. Okay. The start of school, right? Kids coming back. Senior sunrise.
There's a lot of choppers in this community. It'd be nice if you could get like a chopper day. You get all the dads come out their bikes, do a drive-through.
Like a car show, yeah. Keep going.
Yeah, he wants to go quick.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Gabriella. The last first day of school, there's a whole series of these. If you want to look at our senior class, senior sunrise.
Senior sunrise. That's where the seniors
Dr.
come
Floyd.
to the campus for their sunrise together, their last sunrise at the county hall. And they come at 5-something in the morning, come see their parents, so yes, you gotta get them up and get them here. And then the staff, like on the grill, made
food,
yeah, and then parents donated, bagels and donuts and orange juice, and they eat together as the sun rises, and everyone's on time for 8 a.m. class, so they're here from 6 o'clock in the morning. The superintendent came out this year to senior sunrise, so that was awesome.
I think we're all tired by like 10:30, 11 o'clock.
Yeah, how do you make it through the rest of the day?
Yeah.
Class.
In school, 2020.
Yeah, you have a shirt that tells you, aspirational shirts. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And there are people first time. Yes, the convocation.
That's the first day of school with the superintendent. She has a big PLC, professional development day with all the staff. All the staff comment. This is her opening.
That's the keynote speaker. And there's the entire staff of Woodlands of all the schools is there.
Very positive feedback from that day and from the keynote speaker.
And there's our board president.
Oh, God.
Speaking to the group crowd, yes. The PTA council president, right? And there's a book, GTF union president. And the superintendent, there's the book. Adam Welcome, Kids Deserve It. He gave us copies of his book and spoke on it, keynote. And there is what's going on at the Woodlands campus. So we're putting in the piping for new fire hydrants. So this part is done. So Woodlands is about here, ECP is over here, and the mansion is here. And so they've got all the piping in. They put a fire hydrant here, they put a fire hydrant here, probably a fire hydrant there. And then this is to be done, and this by the Pinewood Gate is to be done. And that's gonna block things up, and they're gonna keep it open in one direction. They'll have signals and let people through. They don't start until after the morning rush, but they're still going when the afternoon rush is. So beware, there will
I
be
thought the afternoon
congestion.
was less crazy than the morning. Even though both are crazy, people are trying to get to work in the morning, so it's a little more stressful and frustrated. But it will be.
Once people know the people use the road, they see that they'll kind of know that, or it's just a shortcut, that's all. They can-
Yeah, they don't think we're just a shortcut for the next few months until
Find out what they can do.
by December, it should be clear.
All right.
God willing, the weather's
Right.
cooperates.
Right,
So we're
so
looking at how long?
they've been working on the C lot, the back driveway, and they finally closed that. They finally, today, we're neatening it up, and they'll start the other part Thursday. Or at least we'll see it Thursday, because we have a 2-day holiday.
They'll be working over the holiday.
Yeah, there's a fire hydrant in the back, and Con Ed, meanwhile, is doing stuff at the Pinewood Gate, and they finally made it down beyond Fieldstone Drive, so there's actually a way, around that. So, they'll come back and pressurize the pipe, but
And that's different, it's a different project.
at the same time.
Right, at the same time, that's Con Edison, we don't control the timing. Con Edison decided they were going to do their energy performance work.
Yeah, one quick question.
Yeah.
So all the football games, all the soccer games are away this year?
Not the soccer is still on the way.
Football is away this year.
Football is away game.
And Hamilton, Ham games are
So we're gonna have to go,
Just on Saturday,
Yeah.
and then we have a
Homecoming.
home.
Yeah.
I know I-9 uses the field, or are they?
Not using
No.
football.
Because it's dirt.
Yeah.
And they finally gotten, that's the gate
They
open.
put lights up out there?
That would be lovely, wouldn't it? No.
That's the next stage.
Next phase. That's part of the original phase where they did.
We've got enough electricity down there.
Yeah.
We have to go for the pole.
Or High Point complaint, but you can't see High Point before. Like that was 99 when they did the field.
Yeah.
Okay.
They probably wouldn't
At
be
the time, they were
happy
gonna
about
put lights up, but because of High
High
Point,
Point, they probably wouldn't be happy about that.
no, because at the time, there was you could see from the field, in the old days, you could see straight High Point down. Trees have grown over the years, and it's no longer. Yeah, like, I mean, it's just-
We're gonna name the field after Edward Teller when we did.
Yeah, I know, yeah,
everything together,
I heard about that,
dedicated. Okay. Yeah, okay, there's the other fire hydrant, that's right in front of Woodlands. You see where the old fire hydrant and the new one. You go. Okay. Okay, I think, is that it?
Yes.
All right, and next time we will devote some time to figuring out what our planning next meetings are. You can take a look at the agenda and we'll go over that when we come back. Is there anything else anybody wants to cover before we adjourn?
Anyone?
Do I hear a motion to adjourn? All in favor? Thank you, good night.
Thank you.
Bye, thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Dr. Chisholm.
Thank you, trustee